Hello students, my name is Abhishek sir and this is your English classroom excel learning where we post English chapters explanation videos. Today I have brought a poem for my class 6 students and the name of the poem is Eldorado, written by Edgar Allan Poe. This poem is a very fascinating poem. Okay, and this particular poem actually describes the journey of a gallant knight who has started his journey in search of Eldorado. Now the point is, another question is, what is Eldorado? Actually, Eldorado is a place, okay, which is rumored to have plenty of gold, plenty of wealth and plenty of opportunity. इसे imagine किया गया है कि ऐसा एक place है. So this particular poem is actually describing the journey of a knight who started his journey in search of Eldorado and what happened with that particular knight. Okay guys, so let's get into the chapter. So please take your book and take a pencil so that you can mark down all the keywords that I am going to tell you in this particular video. Why? Because the more keywords, that means the more words that have been given in the chapter, it might be any poem, it might be any story, okay, the more words from the chapter you will use in your answer script, the more marks you can score, because the teacher will get a good impression that this particular student has thoroughly read out the chapter. So ये हमेशा करना कि एक चैप्टर जो है उसे इतना बार रीड करना कि वो चैप्टर एकदम दिमाग में पूरा आ जाए, ताकि जब आप लोग आंसर लिखो ना कि डायरेक्ट आप कोटेशन यूज कर सको उस पोएम से या फिर उस स्टोरी से जो भी आपके बुक में दिया हुआ है. सो ऑलवेज मेक इट अ हैबिट टू रीड आउट चैप्टर्स थॉरोली, एकदम थॉरोली रीड आउट करना. ओके, so starting the poem, this particular poem was published in the year of 1849 in Flag of Our Union under quotation in Boston. Okay, and before explaining the poem, first let us read out the poem properly. This particular poem has total 4 stanzas and each stanza consists of 6 lines. और एक जो बात है, एक कॉमन वर्ड हर एक स्टैंजा में है, दैट इज कॉल्ड शैडो. एंड मोर इम्पोर्टेंटली द पोएट हैज यूज्ड द वर्ड शैडो इन द मिडिल ऑफ ईच स्टैंजा. व्हाई? इसका भी एक रीजन है, मैं सब कुछ आपको एक्सप्लेन करके दूंगा. ठीक है, तो पहले एक्सप्लेनेशन करने से पहले एक बार क्या करते हैं, हम लोग इस चैप्टर को पूरा रीड आउट कर लेते हैं अच्छी तरह से. ओके, gaily bedight, a gallant knight in sunshine and in shadow had journeyed long, singing a song in search of Eldorado. Once again, shadow. The term shadow is the circle, the term. But he grew old, this knight so bold, and over his heart a shadow. Once again, shadow, circle. Fell as he found no spot of ground that looked like Eldorado. And as his strength failed him at length, he met a pilgrim shadow. Once again, shadow, circle. Shadow, said he, where can it be, this land of Eldorado? Over the mountains of the moon, down the valley of the shadow. Once again, shadow, circle, right, boldly right. The shade replied, if you seek for Eldorado. So see, 4 stanzas are there and each stanza consists of 6 lines. First point. Second, in each stanza the poet has used the word shadow in the middle of the stanzas. Why? After finishing the poem, I will tell you all the poem. So right now I am going to explain the poem stanza wise and line wise. Okay, so gaily bedight, gaily keyword, bedight keyword, a gallant knight keyword, in sunshine and in shadow, sunshine keyword, had journeyed long, singing a song, key phrase, in search of Eldorado. Now what is the thing? That a knight was there, was very brave knight, was very gallant knight. Gallant means very brave. Okay, and one day the knight started his journey. And how did he start his journey? Before starting his journey, he bedight himself. That means he was dressed himself nicely and he was extremely happy. Gaily means happily. Okay, and in sunshine and in shadow. Sunshine refers to hope. That means when the journey was started by the gallant knight, at that time he was very hopeful, at that time he was having full confidence. Okay, singing a song. and he was singing a song. And what for did he start his journey? In search of Eldorado. Got my point? So what happened? That one day a king started his journey in search of Eldorado. At that time he was very happily and he dressed himself nicely. Okay, and he was so happy and he was so hopeful that he was singing a song that no, definitely I will reach my destination. I will get the piece of land that is called Eldorado, and which is said to have much more wealth, opportunity and each and everything. So in the first stanza, the shadow is literal shadow. That means आप अगर लाइट के बीच में आ जाते हो तो आपका जो शैडो होता है, ठीक है, that is called literal shadow, and sunshine refers to hope. But he grew old, this night so bold. So see the first stanza actually shows us the starting of the journey of the gallant knight. Now in the second stanza, directly the poet is telling, but he grew old. That means already the knight had journeyed long way. That is the reason he had grown old. The knight is so bold, but the knight is very brave. That is the reason still now he is continuing his journey. And over his heard a shadow. And this particular shadow means without hope, or gloom, or despair. Mark karte raho, likhte raho. This particular shadow, the shadow of the second stanza means without hope, gloom, or despair. Okay. So, and over his heard a shadow fell as he found no spot of ground that looked like Eldorado. So the knight had journeyed a long way, but still now he did not get the piece of land that is called Eldorado. That is the reason right now he does not have. Right now the knight does not have that much amount of hope that he had when he started his journey. Okay, so right now he is bit exhausted both mentally and physically, and he is bit without hope. Why? Because he had tried his best, but still now he did not find, he rather could not find the piece of land that is called Eldorado. Third stanza, and as his strength failed him at length, so अब उनका जो है, अब उनमें वो शक्ति नहीं रहा. अब वो जर्नी स्टार्ट करने के टाइम उनमें जो स्ट्रेंथ था, अब उस नाइट में उतना और वैसा स्ट्रेंथ नहीं रहा. He met a pilgrim shadow, one second shadow, and this particular term, that means in the third stanza, the shadow means possibly death. Please note it down, possibly death. Okay, he met a pilgrim shadow. So as he does not have that much strength that he had when he started his journey, so he met a pilgrim shadow, and that particular pilgrim shadow refers to possibly death. Shadow, said he. That means right now the knight is having a conversation with the shadow, and he is asking, shadow, where can it be? This land of Eldorado. So still now, अब देखो नाइट अभी जो है उन्होंने जब स्टार्ट किया था जर्नी, at that time he was very hopeful, he was very happy, he dressed himself nicely and he was singing a song. That means he was in a rapture state of mind. Right? He was in a rapture state of mind, but he had journeyed long, but still now he could not find the piece of land that is called Eldorado. Okay, that is the reason right now he is bit without hope. He is both mentally and physically tired as well as exhausted, broken. But still now उसके बावजूद भी उसके अंदर थोड़ा सा भी जो है होप है कि मुझे वो लैंड जरूर मिलेगा. That is the reason. That is the reason why he made the pilgrim shadow. He is asking the pilgrim shadow that I could not find the piece of land. क्या आप मुझे बता सकते हो कि वो piece of land कहाँ पे है? एल्डोराडो जिसका नाम है, वो मुझे कहाँ मिलेगा? Right now the knight is asking the question to the pilgrim shadow. अब fourth stanza जो है, this is the reply of the pilgrim shadow. Over the mountains of the moon. That means you can get the piece of land Eldorado where? Over the mountains of the moon, down the valley of the shadow. Right, boldly right. The shade replied, if you seek for Eldorado. So basically he is replying that you can get the piece of land Eldorado where? Over the mountains of the moon and in the deep valley and in the deep valley of the shadow. So if you want to get the land that is Eldorado, you have to write boldly. That means this particular stanza or the last lines of this particular poem is kind of an encouragement that is given to the night by the shadow, that you have to ride, you have to continue your journey. And once again the shadow is indicating to the point that this kind of land that is full of wealth, gold and opportunity, okay, this kind of land does not exist on the earth. अगर तुम्हें ऐसा चाहिए तो तुम्हें बहुत 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 दूर जाना पड़ेगा। यानी कि ये जो सपना है या फिर ये जो ड्रीम है एल्डोराडो को पाने का, दिस इज एक्चुअली एन अनअटेनेबल ड्रीम, दिस इज एक्चुअली एन अनअटेनेबल ड्रीम जो कि तुम हासिल नहीं कर सकते। क्यों? क्योंकि ऐसा एक लैंड एक्चुअली धरती पे एग्जिस्ट ही नहीं करता है। ठीक है, सो दिस इज एन अनअटेनेबल ड्रीम। सो इफ you want to get that kind of land which is called Eldorado and which is rumored to have plenty of wealth, gold and opportunities, okay, so you have to ride boldly, you have to continue your journey boldly, where over the mountains of the moon and down the valley of the shadow. I hope you got the point. So actually this is a spiritual treasure, okay, so Eldorado में जो treasure मिलता है, actually this is a spiritual treasures that treasures are that of mind, knowledge, understanding and wisdom. So actually वो जो shadow है, वो shadow actually वो night को ये बता रहा है कि आप तुम जो ढूंढ रहे हो वो actually क्या है, हम लोग का understanding है, हम लोग का wisdom है और हम लोग का knowledge है। क्योंकि ऐसा कोई place अभी तक धरती में नहीं है। तो अगर तुम ऐसा प्लेस तुम्हें चाहते हो तो तुम्हें जाना पड़ेगा बहुत 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 दूर कोई जाएगा। दैट मीन्स वो बंदा जो है वो एक्सपीरियंस पड़ेगा, वो बंदा जो है वो उनका विजडम बढ़ेगा, है कि नहीं? तो ये एक अनअटेनेबल ड्रीम है विच कैन नॉट बी गॉट, ये धरती पे नहीं मिल सकता। नाउ आई होप द explanation of the poem is quite complete to you all, and the themes of the poem, okay, which must be written in your book, that is dreams, journey and death. Dream, see, the knight dreams, the knight has the dream or the knight dreamt that he would get the land which is called Eldorado. That is the reason he started his journey. First point. So dreams is the first theme of the poem. Second, journey. The knight started its journey very happily and he was in a rapture kind of mood. He dressed himself nicely and he was singing a song. एकदम उनका मूड एकदम मस्त था उस टाइम, ठीक है? So he started his journey and he had journeyed long way in search of Eldorado, and that means he must achieve, he must gain various kind of knowledge and various kind of perception of life while he was journeying in search of Eldorado. So journey is the second theme of this poem, and death. And finally when the knight was both physically and mentally exhausted, broken, tired, okay, at that time he met the shadow. That means he met his death. So death is also the major theme of this poem. I hope the poem is quite clear to you, but then also I already have given the explanation stanza wise in the description box. तो अगर आप लोगों को कोई प्रॉब्लम होगा तो आप लोग मुझे डायरेक्ट बोल सकते हो। My phone number has been given in the description box. If you want to take classes from me, you can also contact me, okay? And the explanation has already been given in the description box. So please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon so that you can be regular updated, and share the channel with your friends so that they would get the possibly or probably the best explanation on YouTube. Thank you. मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट वीडियो में कोई नया चैप्टर के साथ। आज के लिए बस इतना ही। गॉड ब्लेस यू ऑल।